dear ones. Now there's an interesting thing taking place right now. You're starting on a new solar cycle. Although it actually started a while back, it's going to take time to reach the top of that solar cycle in July 2025. Solar cycles happen every 11 years. The sun goes through a process where it changes poles. North becomes south, and south becomes north. Not that it turns over, but the magnetics of it turn around and switch, which starts a whole new solar cycle every 11 years. When a solar cycle reaches its highest intensity, the sun erupts and throws off energy into space, which is called a solar flare or coronal mass ejection. The energy hits the Earth in long magnetic waves. These waves not only cause the colorful dance in the sky, but they also send magnetic waves to the hearts of the inhabitants of Earth. Yes, this can help to bring people together. If those eruptions are pointed directly at planet Earth, it can cause anomalies and different challenges, especially having to do with electronics. And every time you see a solar flare come up, you're going to see that in your headlines. Watch out, be careful, it's going to hit any moment and you're liable to have a blackout. People like to sell the news, so they're going to give you the worst scenario that they can to get your attention. Although some of that is entirely true, it's very rare, so do not be fearful. What happens with the solar flares is that they send out huge waves of neutrinos along with magnetic energy. They are so small that billions pass through your body in a day. What humans have yet to understand is that as they pass through you, they also charge you with solar energy. The aurora borealis seen in Alaska and other northern places is the magnetic waves from the sun. Those magnetic waves hit your ionosphere and interact with them. They light up the sky with these beautiful energies. But those are only the ones you see. The waves also travel all throughout planet Earth. The neutrinos themselves are incredibly small and not to be feared. They pass through your body billions at a time and you don't even realize it. They don't interfere with you, but they do carry a solar charge. The last several solar cycles have produced diminishing amounts of solar flares. Originally it was predicted that the solar cycle would have less activity, but the resulting effects on the planet would have been devastating. Because if that were to happen, it would signal the beginning of rapid changes. As it stands now, this may be a healthy season of the sun, which opens new possibilities. And we'll tell you, even though it's early in the solar cycle, you've already had one X-class solar flare. There are only 4 different classifications, with X being the extreme classification. And although the record-setting X-class solar flare is an X28, you had an X2 just the other day, and it was the second X-class in this cycle. Why are we smiling with that? Because that opens up all the heart energy on planet Earth with the magnetism that comes in, it opens up opportunities to change and shift the magnetics of the heart. Does that mean that everything is going to change from these solar flares? No, it doesn't. That's up to you. But this creates an opportunity. Although this is going to last a while, more than 2 years to be at their peak, you're going to see some incredible opportunities for unity and healing. One can look out and see that differences exist. But if you can pull back far enough, there are no sides. You're all the same. You're all connected to each other. And that's incredibly important. If you start living in that direction, dear ones, you will start seeing new opportunities to step into a new world. Yes, right where you are now, without having to go home or reset the physical body. These are grand times, and your space has been reserved. Indeed, dear ones, we tell you the magic has just beginning. So, celebrate those solar flares as they come in. They're just really getting started. Celebrate, because it means it's bringing in a huge wave of magnetism that can open the hearts of humanity. It's not certain if that'll make a difference, but it's the next opportunity. Separation anxiety. You are the pace setters on planet Earth, the greatest angels who have ever lived. You have dared to take off your wings and have an experience in a finite form that can be very scary to a human being, to a spirit. But here you are taking new steps and making new connections. Each one of those is a magical time. Celebrate it every time you hear about the solar flares, no matter what it is. Even if it's scary news, celebrate it. Know that there's a magnetic wave coming in, which can actually release the anger, which causes the separation to stay in place. You can start seeing others as fellow humans, instead of those on the opposite side of something. Many of you have specific contracts to eradicate those differences, to release those connections, and to start seeing planet Earth as a whole. Dear ones, your journeys have led you in many places throughout the universe. The magic has begun and you are a part of it. Your space has been reserved. You've made many contracts to be here, and connections to open doors. Now they're opening. All you need is that courage to step through, even not knowing where you're going or what's on the other side. Your heart believed, but it's your brain that'll have difficulties. So, feel the magnetism and those connections. Understand that you're on this earth with a purpose, with a very specific reason, and much of that is now unfolding. You also have some rather large cosmic events coming later in the year that we will talk about soon. Bodysuit. You are magical beings, dear ones. At some point you will get to see just who you really are. You'll be able to see your own magic. You won't believe it at first, but that's natural. You're inside a bodysuit that has limitations, but your spirit has none. And that's starting to increase. The magic has begun, dear ones. You are here, your name was on that chair. Before you ever came to planet Earth. You're in a critical mass stage. You've been living in the times of mastery, where all these things come up just before the shift, which is part of the challenge that you have right now. There are many things that you are deciding, but it's not just for the immediate future. It's for the beginning of next level of life. This is what we term as stepping onto the 𝐂𝐀. It's for living there on a daily basis with much more of your spirit present than your physical body, which is magical. In the meantime, we will come together, working to heal your physical body and bringing it into alignment with your spirit, to give you the greatest of opportunities. And we ask you to take this to the people who you know. Bring it to them, offering your own healing and connections in different ways. It's a beautiful game of tag. You're it. Pass it on, dear ones. It is with the greatest of honor that we bring you these little reminders from home. Even though you have been walking on Earth for quite some time. Yes, it's hard to remember, but that's why we're here, dear ones. Not to tell you which way to go or what to do, but to help you remember. And we love you dearly, every step of your way. You can't do wrong on planet Earth. We know that's difficult, but understand that everything leads you to the next level. Even those challenging things that you would consider wrong are opening up new opportunities. Seize the moment. Grasp it. Bring it into your being and anchor that light in your daily visions. We will be right there with you along the way. Treat each other with respect. Nurture one another and play well together. I am the keeper of time. Peace be with you. Thank you for watching.